Come On is the new A24 film that just came out in theaters, and I finally got a chance to see it. I know it's been out a few places for a while, but it just came to my area, which yeah, really shitty that films like this don't get wide releases. But I guess 20 Marvel movies have to come out a year, and we don't really get um, smaller good movies as much just because we have to make so many of those, right? Because that's what matters. I don't know. Not to like diss on Marvel. It's just frustrating to me, right? Because obviously these films aren't disappearing, but they are showing less and less prevalence because other movies like that have to come out. So I think if you have a chance to see this movie and you want to see it, you should, because these films aren't dying out, but they are disappearing more and more, right? Because they're not going to stop being made, but they're going to be shown to less. They're going to be harder to find, and it's just unfortunate. It's just really awful. But a lot of people know Joaquin Phoenix now from Joker, which I think is unfortunate because Joker is not his typical performance. He is not a very showy actor like he is in that movie where he's giving these grand performance. It's his least subtle and good performance. Not saying it's a bad performance, but compared to everything else he does, it's his automatically worst performance. And it's funny because that's the one that's got him nominated for the Oscars. That's the one that everybody knows him from, and it's just like the thing about Joker is like everybody talked about when it came out. Now it's disappeared. I had people tell me it was their favorite movie and stuff. Not to diss on these people, but it's gone. Like no one talks about it. Even those people tell me it's their favorite movie. They're like, "Where'd you go? Oh, you're not around anymore." Like Joker is was a very overplayed movie, and it was just like unfortunate. I think if you know Joaquin Phoenix from movies like that, you're missing out on some really damn good performances like this movie, because this movie is not a very showy performance. It's a very subtle performance. There isn't a lot of telling you what this character's backstory is, what this movie is about. We got this guy who's taking care of this boy, and he's his uncle, and he's trying to take care of him, and while he's kind of working a job where he interviews kids, and there's a little bit more to it, but that's what I'm going to say for now. And it's a beautiful bond between these characters because, like, they laugh, they cry, it's a beautiful relationship between these. They're both excellently acted performers in this movie, especially Joaquin Phoenix. The young boy does a pretty good job. Some people were saying, like, um, he was super great. I didn't think that. I thought it was. I think he did a good performance for what was required of him, though, and I enjoyed his character and kind of what emotions he brought out. But he did an excellent job for what he was given. But I think Joaquin Phoenix obviously is the real star here, because he's just so subtle about everything. You see, this character has a lot of subtleties hidden underneath these layers of tragedy and sadness. What that is, it's not spelled out. It's not clear. Allowing you to guesstimate, put yourself in the character situation. Maybe, someone who has felt similar emotions, but maybe not those exact emotions, could like project themselves onto this character, imagine what the story is. Very interpretable, which is a very good aspect to this film. And I think it was a beautiful movie. It's in black and white, which you know, some people, this isn't a film like The Lighthouse where it's very clear why the film was put together that way, but it doesn't bother me. I feel like after 2 minutes of watching it, I didn't even notice it was black and white. I was just watching this story play out. The cinematography for here was beautiful. The movie was just a very good, touching story. A little depressing. Like, I kind of watched this movie, and I'll be honest, like, walked out. I was depressed for about 2 hours. Um, like, felt a little shitty after the movie, but, it's like, it's still a great movie, but just noting if you don't like depressing movies, maybe don't watch this one. It's still a pretty good movie.